my wife having any problems out there?
No, I just put her outside. She's just sitting over there.
She can be a hamster. Sorry to keep this okay.
She's got to go to work.
Most of us did. When I was free till Friday, so I can't wait till Friday. Yes.
Hi, good.
The officer knows her face.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to my live stream. I'm at Busch Gardens. We're going to do some walking around this park today. I don't have any plans of riding any rides. Thanks for coming in there. Let me know who that is. Thanks for watching, everyone. Welcome, one and all. Oh, there's something I wanted to get over here. Let me go get it. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming in and watching. We're here at the famous Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. And we got here just a little bit after opening, so the doors have just opened. No crowds. It's a Tuesday. This is a Tuesday morning. Little shops. This is always the first thing they do here when you walk in. This is one of the first little presentations that they have, talking about the alligators. Alligator talk. Then after that, the keeper talk for the cheetahs. That's at 11:30. And that's the only animal talks that they have today, except for the Animal Connections building. They do one there too.
that is. That is short story. Anybody have any questions about alligators? Anything you want to know?
My very first is, when did y'all have that distance? When I was a little distance. Distance was published.
About a year and a half ago.
Okay.
So part of that is, I had to
But even more importantly, you are aware about the challenges they face today that threaten their very existence, and how you may be the key to their survival. Humans have much in common with chimpanzees, and genetically they are more similar to us than nearly any other animal. They have coarse dark hair and pinkish to black bare skin on their faces, ears, palms of their hands, and soles of their feet. And just like us, as they age, their hair often turns gray, and they even go bald. Chimpanzees may be smaller than some of their great-ape cousins, but they are mighty, with adults weighing from 100 to 130 pounds. These nimble, energetic primates are warriors of the forests, excellent foragers, hunters, and survivors. Chimpanzees' arms are very long and strong, which make them good climbers and allow them to move quickly through trees and branches. They use their long arms to reach out to fruits growing on thin branches that would not usually support their weight. They are very agile and able to break weight or swing from branch to branch by their arms. On the ground, chimps get around on all fours, often using their front knuckles, which is known as knuckle walking. Like humans, chimpanzees have opposable thumbs, which they use for many things, including creating and using tools. They're quite intelligent and have been known to use sticks to fish out termites to eat and crumpled leaves to soak up water to drink. We often hide food in the giant termite mounds throughout Myombe Reserve to encourage and study this feeding behavior.
Did you get the chain? Okay, I'll go back and get it.
Here we go. They're coming out. Must be feeding
Good morning
time.
and welcome to Myombe Reserve. My name is Sarah. I'm located right here behind you guys. I am out here with several keepers. We are going to try to do a window training session with our two girls that are out here right now. So just in a few minutes, we are going to ask you guys to kind of take a couple steps back from the window. You don't have to do it right this second. We don't have our chain. We're running to go get that right now. But we are going to set up a chain so our keepers have room to move around and interact with the animals. So you guys are more than welcome to hang out, grab your last photos before we ask you guys to kind of back out. You're good right now, and I'll give you a heads up. We do have two of our oldest chimps out here right now. We have Sally and Cookie. Sally will actually be turning 54 on Thanksgiving, and Cookie is 41. So 54, yeah, is pretty old for a chimpanzee. We would consider her geriatric. We don't tell her that, but we consider her that. Unfortunately, in the wild, they're only going to live into their 50s and 40s, but in managed care, chimpanzees have lived into their mid-60s as well. So we do have a total of 6 chimps here at Busch Gardens. So we do have 2 groups right now. So we have our group of our older ladies, and then we do have a group of 4 chimps who will be coming out later on this morning. So probably after we're done with this training session, we'll shift these girls inside and let our other group have time to come out and enjoy the habitat. The girls have been out here for the morning. Our goal is eventually to have a lovely group of 6 chimps. That is something that we will be working on towards the near future to combine our 2 groups. So we have one larger group. But currently right now we do have the 2 groups. So the 2 girls are going to be out here, and then probably after we finish up this training session, not too long after that, we'll bring them in and then shift out the other group of 4. All right, guys, I do see Jillian coming back up with the chain, so please take your last-minute photos and videos of the girls before we ask you guys to step back so we can kind of create that area for our keepers to work with our chimpanzees. We just need a few minutes to kind of set everything up. So just give us a few minutes, and then we will begin this training session. Thank you. Can everyone please step behind the far green pole? For us, you can begin the session as soon as we get this chain set up. So if you guys stand behind the far green pole, just so we can put up this rope just allows us room to move around and interact with the chimps. So we just need to hook that up really quickly. Behind the green pole, the far green pole. Can you guys just stop right here? We are setting up You guys are walking in, just hold on a second. We are getting ready to do a training session. We are setting up a rope, so we do need to move some people aside. Once the rope's up, we'll be able to move people and everyone can kind of go through. All right, thank you guys. If you guys would please come up to the rope as far as you can. We do need to make sure there's a little bit of pathway for people to go through with their strollers and to wander over if they would like to go see the gorillas. So just gotta make sure we leave a little pathway for everyone to walk around. All right, guys, so thank you so much for being cooperative. We are going to be doing this training session with our 2 girls. So if you missed my introduction before, I'll begin that again. We have our 2 older ladies here out on Habitat. We have Cookie, who's kind of in the center right over here, and Miss Sally, who's a little bit further off on the right-hand side of the windows. Sally is our oldest chimp. She's going to be 54 on Thanksgiving. Cookie is 41. So they are our 2 oldest chimps. 54 is older for a chimpanzee. She may be considered geriatric. Out in the wild, chimps live into their 50s and 40s, but in managed situations, they've been known to live up into their mid-60s or so. So we're going to ask these 2 ladies to come over to the trainers. They are going to be doing different parts of different body part presents. So we call these husbandry behaviors. Basically what that means is that they know different parts of their body and different actions based on hand and verbal cues we give them. This is really important because it does allow us to give them a once-over every day, make sure there's no bumps, cuts, or bruises, or anything like that. Checking the bottom of their feet are really important. As you can see, when they walk around outside, they're not wearing shoes. So we just want to make sure that we can kind of check over their body parts and make sure that everything is good. There's no cuts or scrapes or bumps or bruises or anything like that. Now, we can do all the basic body parts: head, nose, back, eyes, ears, a foot, knee, side, anything like that. So really basic ones, but then we can kind of take it a step further and we can introduce different tools as well. So basically the tools we use are what you would see at the doctor's office. So Cookie right now, she'll present her chest for stethoscope. They'll present back for stethoscope. They'll present, there we go. They'll present their ears for ear swabs, their nose for swabs, their tongue for tongue compressors. And they also will present shoulders or thighs for voluntary syringe or injections. So we do take it a step further from just those basic body parts and start working tool use into it as well. The syringe behavior is a very great behavior to have, having that, building up that relationship with them where they allow you to inject them with a vaccine or anything along those lines. So that's a great behavior to build up with them. It's a lot less stressful for the animals and a lot less stressful for us if we do have to do any injections. Now, as I mentioned before, these are our two older ladies, so we're going to go a little step further to make sure they are in top health for their age as well. We do cardiac ultrasounds too. Just like us, great age, as they get older, they can have a lot of heart issues. We want to make sure we're on top of everyone's heart issues, especially these two older girls. So cardiac ultrasounds are also different things we can work with them. It's a great way to just get an echogram of their heart, and that way we can kind of monitor them as they get older. All right. That is actually a behavior. A butt behavior is really important, especially for females. So Sally just kind of gave you that nice visual of her rear end. All females have what's called an estrol pad on their rear end, and it will swell based on where they are in the cycle. If it's swollen, it's a visual sign from the males that she's ovulating. This is a great time to make some babies. So having that estrol pad and that rear end behavior is really important too, because we want to make sure with our girls too, we can check out the estrol pad, if it's swollen, if it's not swollen, anything along those lines. So every body part is important. Everything is also done voluntary. As you can see, Sally's kind of doing what she wants to do. She took her time to come over here. Now she's presenting her ear correctly. So everything is done voluntary. If she doesn't want to participate, she doesn't have to. She took a little bit of time coming over. That's perfectly fine. It's all up to her. She wants to get up and just wander away in the middle of the session. All right, that's perfectly fine as well. So everything we ask her to do is done on this strictly voluntary basis. We also work with what's called positive reinforcement. So if you notice, every time they do a behavior correctly, the keeper is going to give them a big head nod. That's what we call a bridge. You're bridging the behavior and the reinforcement. Basically, you're telling the animal, you did the behavior correctly, just hold on, you're going to get some reinforcement in 2 seconds. And it also indicates to the animal that they're done with the behavior as well. So if they're standing, they can sit back down. If they turn their head and give us their ear, it's a signal for them to turn around and just kind of face us again, that they're done and they did it correctly. So with that positive reinforcement, we are using some fruit. We also can use some vegetables too. Vegetables have their own hierarchy here. They'll train for sweet potatoes and tomatoes and carrots, as you can imagine, the sweet starchy vegetables. And they also love their fruit as well. So the fruit that they get is going to be a really small portion of their diet. Basically, it's the smallest portion of their diet. We do have to monitor the amount of fruit we get them because the fruit we're giving them is a lot different than the fruit in the wild. Fruit in the wild is a lot like vegetables. It is hard, earthy, and it may never get to the point where it ripens because something's going to come along and eat it. The fruit we grow for our consumption is sweet and juicy and sugary because that's what we want to eat. So that is, of course, we buy all our produce and fruit from basically where a restaurant order their stuff too as well. So we are getting that sweet, juicy fruit that we eat too as well. So we do have to monitor and make sure we're not giving them all that sugar. So the fruit is actually a really small portion of their diet. So we use it a lot for this positive reinforcement. Now, as I mentioned before, everything is done on a voluntary basis. So let's say Sally had no interest in doing it. She sat over there for a little bit, but eventually came over. Let's say she never came over. She didn't want to participate. That's fine. She is not going to lose out the option to get that fruit through the rest of the day. When she's inside later, maybe we can do a different training session. We can put the fruit in an enrichment device that she kind of has to manipulate to get out. We have lots of options. So if they're not interested in working right at that second, we'll give them lots of different choices throughout the day to receive that extra reinforcement. Now, as I mentioned, fruit is just a really small part of their diet. The largest portion of their diet are going to be greens. We do a lot of variety of leafy greens. Just think of whatever you eat in a salad. They like endive, kale, romaine lettuce, anything like that. We do give them browse every day. Browse is any kind of plant material they will eat. Everything on Habitat is edible, but we want to make sure they're not going up and eating all their pretty greenery in their shade too as well. So we do give them fresh cut browse every day. We actually have a browse garden here on our property where we grow a large variety of trees, but we also have vendors too that we work with to give us even a larger variety for all our animals here. Now, chimpanzees are also meat eaters. Now, it's kind of going to be a cultural thing. Not every chimp is going to be an omnivore and eat meat. If you grew up in a family that taught you how to hunt and consume meat, you were going to learn that. If you grew up in a family that did not do that, you're not going to do it. So it kind of is a cultural thing with chimpanzees, but they can be omnivores. Our chimps have no interest in meat. So we do give them something extra special in their diet. It's called a chow. It's a little brown protein biscuit. Kind of supplements all the proteins and vitamins that they would get by eating the meat. Kind of rounds out their diet as well. We also get different kinds of vegetables every day. So every day is going to be different leafy greens, different vegetables. Because if you ate the same meal over and over again, that'd be kind of boring. So these guys, I do believe, have broccoli today. They always have a cucumber salad. Cookie loves cucumbers, so she always usually has a cucumber in her diet because it's her favorite thing. They really love onions. Onions is actually a very favorite vegetable here with the chimpanzees. Sweet potatoes, green beans, cauliflower, anything along those lines. So we kind of will mix that in throughout the week and give them a little bit of variety in their leafy greens and their vegetables as well. Now, unfortunately, chimpanzees are endangered, and the main reason they are endangered is, of course, due to human beings. Now, they're losing their habitat destruction, basically for paper products. So there's actually some steps you guys can do while you're out shopping and buying paper products to make sure you're buying something that came from a sustainable source. So sustainability is just going to mean that the tree was taken in a responsible manner, and most likely other trees were planted to replace it as well. So whenever you guys are out shopping, especially for paper products, you can actually look for a symbol on all those products to make sure you're buying a sustainable product. It's called the FSC logo. So you're going to see the acronym FSC with a little tree above it. Usually by the barcode of any of the products you're buying. I've seen this from paper towels, toilet paper, tissues, brown paper bags, napkins, anything like that. If you have a paper map here, we do sometimes give out paper maps. I think we went back to a little bit, but if you do wind up with a paper map here, that's going to have the FSC logo on it as well. So it's a really small logo. It's usually right by the barcode. You just kind of move the product around. You can see it. If you see that logo, you know that product is a great product to buy because the paper was taken in a sustainable manner, was taken in a responsible manner, and is not causing too much deforestation for these guys as well. So just simple things while you're out shopping can make a really big difference for these guys. So we are going to be wrapping this up in the next few minutes. Again, as I mentioned before, if you kind of missed the intro, we actually do have a total of 6 chimps here at Busch Gardens. So right now we have our 2 ladies right now, and we have a group of 4 inside. So most likely within the next 20 minutes to half an hour, we probably will be bringing these ladies back inside. They've had the habitat this morning, and we'll bring our group of 4 out for the rest of the day. You guys are more than welcome to hang out to wait for that, but it could be up to about 30 minutes just to give everybody a fair warning for us to get back there, get everything ready, and get these guys in. So it might take a little bit of time. But if you come back later on this afternoon, that group of 4 should be out as well. Our grand plan and our big dreams is to have a group of 6. So that is something we are working towards. We will combine these 2 groups and give these guys a much larger social group again. So just to give you guys a heads up, is probably, I would say about 30 minutes or so at the earliest. We should have that group back out. So if you guys come back later on this afternoon too, they will be out the whole entire day. So if you don't feel like waiting, don't worry about it. If you want to see the gorillas, just continue to pass around to our next set of windows. That is our Western Lowland Gorilla Habitat. We will have a keeper out there at 11 o'clock talking about our gorillas. So if you want to head over there and check out the gorilla talk, and maybe when the gorilla talk is over, if you head back over here, we might have the other group of chimps out. So you can kind of work it that way too as well. But we will have them out later on this afternoon.
All we know is that she
endangered animals in the world. What is it about the animals, chimpanzees and gorillas, that they find so fascinating? Is it their behavior that captivates us? So similar to ours in their actions, reactions, expressions, and even relationships, also so and impulsive. Is it their vulnerability in a world they can't control? Have human-like qualities that remind us of that keeps us wanting to explore, discover, learn more about them. Or is it simply playfulness as youngsters? So much like that. Entertaining antics that can hold our attention for hours. As you explore the Myombe Reserve, you'll continue to discover what captivates us and holds us spellbound about these incredible species. But even more importantly, you'll learn about the challenges they face today that threaten their very existence, and how you will be the key to their survival. Humans have much in common with chimpanzees, and genetically they are more similar to us than nearly any other animal. They have coarse dark hair and pinkish to black bare skin on their faces, ears, palms of their hands, and soles of their feet. And just like us, as they age, their hair often turns gray, and they even go bald. Chimpanzees may be smaller than some of their greater cousins, but they are mighty, with adults weighing from 100 to 130 pounds. These nimble, energetic primates are warriors of the forests, excellent foragers, hunters, and survivors. Chimpanzees' arms are very long and strong, which make them good climbers and allow them to move quickly through trees and branches. They use their long arms to reach out to fruits growing on thin branches that would not usually support their weight. They are very agile and able to breakaway or swing from branch to branch by their arms. On the ground, chimps get around on all fours, often using their front knuckles, which is known as knuckle walking. Like humans, chimpanzees have opposable thumbs, which they use for many things, including creating and using tools. They're quite intelligent and have been known to use sticks to fish out termites to eat and crumple leaves to soak up water to drink. We often hide food in the giant termite mounds throughout Myombe Reserve to encourage and study this feeding behavior. Learned a lot while studying the chimpanzees here at Myombe Reserve. They are quite social and live in groups called communities or unit groups. One alpha male leads the group, and the males are dominant over females. Disputes are common within the community, but can often be settled by threats and vocalizations instead of actual physical interaction. Female chimpanzees are attentive and protective mothers, and constantly care for their dependent young for up to 7 years and maintain relationships with offspring for life. Like us, chimpanzees communicate in a variety of ways. They have a wide range of calls, including food calls to alert other chimpanzees to the location of food sources. Each chimpanzee has its own distinctive punch hook that can be identified by other group members, and you can't mistake the loud vocalizations chimpanzees make when alerting each other of danger. Chimpanzees live here in the humid forest, deciduous woodland, and mixed savanna and Myombe Reserve. Watch as they forage for fruits, seeds, stems, bark, and insects, all of which comprise over 90% of their diet. But they are not strict herbivores. They take advantage of any opportunity to hunt monkeys, bush pigs, and other animals for their meat. Friendly physical contact helps maintain good relationships among chimpanzees. Throughout the day, you will see chimpanzees socially grooming each other, which serves many purposes, including sustaining friendships or calming nervous individuals. Expressions and gestures are exceptionally important communication tools for chimpanzees.
Well, YouTube messed up. Now my screen is stuck on this, so I'm going to end this. It's not what I wanted to do, but I have to do it because my phone's only showing you this. Unbelievable.